we British people, we are tight. We are tight, if you want to say it like that. That's how it is. You are not going to change it. Especially you, one person. You can rant and kick your legs and all of it. You're not going to change it. But you know what? When certain realities hit you, you're going to be one of the first people to pay because it makes your life easier. Because, let's be honest, when it comes to wages in Ghana, some places pay poor, like really bad, to get things done in Ghana. Process is done. It's slow. It will frustrate you. People understand it. It's part of the cultural norm. So yes, you're not supposed to do it, but it is an unspoken cultural norm that everybody does it. So don't think that, oh, it's because I'm British or it's because I'm American that's why you're doing this to me and it's an uproar. I'm gonna go to social media, I'm gonna talk about it. Nobody cares. We also contribute to this. We are also part of the problem and we have to understand. Hey guys, welcome back. All right, in today's video, I want to revisit a video that I did, oh my gosh, I'm gonna guess probably about 7 years ago. And the video was titled, Will You Pay? So I want to go back and revisit that video and update it a little bit. So in the video, I talked about, you know, the shock that you get when you come here and you literally have to pay for everything. You know what I mean by pay, right? So I'm going to use the word bribe, okay? But then I'm going to give some context to what I mean when I say bribe. But I don't think bribe is the right word. I think there is some education that needs to be done behind this and why it exists. Okay, so bear with me as I run through this video. All right. Okay, so when we talk about things that are potentially bribes in Ghana, what does that mean? So what it really means is, if you've been to Ghana before, at any point for a holiday, whatever, you will know that when you do certain things, right, people will expect something. Whether it is their job that they're already paid to do or whatever, you still have to pay, right? If you want certain things done, you have to pay. I'm treading carefully with this because I have to be careful with my words here, right? So for example, you know, a common term, I'm sure you may have heard it, something for the boys. And something for the boys basically means, well, you know, we've done something for you, like, even though you've paid us, like, give us something extra. We need something extra on top. And it's very, very commonplace here. And it's something you have to get your head around. So for everything that you do here, you have to pay for. And I'm not talking about tipping. Tipping is different. I know Americans are used to tipping. We in the UK, we're not used to tipping. We British people, we are tight. We are tight, if you want to say it like that. We don't do that. But we don't tip on purpose because we tip if you've done something above and beyond, right? And then we feel like, oh my gosh, this person's done amazing. I'm going to give you a tip. And so we tip. Then we will tip, right? But we tip within reason. For those of you from America, you tip because it's part of your culture, right? It's culture tipping. Because me, if I go to America, I'm not tipping. I'm like, my partner forces me. I'm like, no, I'm not tipping. Like, why? Like, they're just doing their job. But that's how I see it because where I'm from. So we have to understand that there are cultural differences and cultural norms in different countries. So for me saying right now, I'm sure, as I've said right now, I'm not tipping. When I go to America, I'm not tipping. Somebody will be like, oh, that's bad, that's bad. And they'll be outraged, right? It sounds shocking, right? But it's the same thing we have to understand when it comes to Ghana as well. That when people ask you for certain things, although it's not classed as tipping, right? And we see it more as a bribe, it's the culture. So the same outrage happens if you come here and someone says, oh, something for the boys, or, you know, they're expecting something extra. It's culture. So I want you to understand the reason why I don't necessarily want to use the word bribe, although it could be seen as bribe. And I guess it is a bribe. It's not seen in the same way as what we would say a bribe is, although it has the same name. Does that make sense? It's hard, I know. Just bear with me, right? And so that can be something to get your head around where it's like, why do I have to do that? I've already paid you. I've already paid you for the job. I've already paid you this. I already paid you that. Why do I have to pay extra? And I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm first of all laying out why it is what it is, right? So that we have an understanding so you don't get the culture shock. And so I want you to understand that that is what exists here. It exists for absolutely everything. No matter what it is someone's coming to do, they want something extra. And, okay, so I'll give you another example. So say you call some company, a company, not an individual, a company, right? And you say, oh, I've got this problem in my house. The plumbing is short. Can you come and help me sort it out, figure out the problem, troubleshoot, right? So, okay, sure. They'll come out, you'll be given the bill, this is what it is. But as the person is leaving, they will turn around to you. They will turn around to you and they'll give you that look. Sometimes they may not outright say something for the boys or can you give us something or any of the terms that they usually use, but they'll look at you because they are expecting you to know what it is that you're supposed to do. They're expecting you to understand the culture. And so it means that because they've done a good job for you, you have to give them something extra outside the bill because that bill was for the company. Now they want one for themselves. You know, they might use terms like, oh, can you buy us water? Or, oh, we haven't eaten yet, or something. And it's not that they haven't eaten yet. It just means, can you give them something extra on top, just to make them happy? And it can happen in everything. I've had people deliver things to me. I'm not talking about delivery riders. I'm not talking about that. But say like shipping and stuff. They come, you know, they're paid their salary, right? Everybody will pay your salary, but they'll still want something on top. Not because they've gone over and above where, you know, they've had to carry it to the 10th floor of the building and there's no lift. It's not that. It's just a culture thing where it's like, it's expected of you. And so you have to very quickly get your head around it. Otherwise, you can take offense to things where there isn't particularly offense. Now, why does it happen? It happens in Ghana because, first of all, it's very much buried in the culture. So if you think you're going to come to Ghana and you're going to change it and you're going to stop people from doing this thing because it's wrong, it's this and that, it's not fair, and it's embedded in the culture. And there are some cultural things that happen here that no matter how much you try and fight it, you cannot change it. The only thing you're going to do is frustrate yourself. And it's like the tighter grip that you give, right? I'm not doing this. The tighter grip that shall be given as well. So whether you like it or not, there are times where, yes, you'll say, I'm not paying for this. But there are times that you're going to have to because that's the only way that you're going to get the thing that you want. And as frustrating as it is, that is just how it is. That's how it is. You are not going to change it. Especially you, one person. You can rant and kick your legs and all of it. You're not going to change it because it is part of the cultural norms. And yes, in some industries or in some places, it shouldn't happen. Like it's wrong. Like you know you've got your salary, it's wrong. And the person also knows that they shouldn't be asking. And we can apply it to certain things. Like we can apply it to police, for example, if the police do that. We can apply it to certain government officials that will do that. They shouldn't be doing that. You know, for services that you expect that it shouldn't happen, it happens. You know, it can happen when you go to top up your electricity, something that you think is very standard, you know, but because you've got a problem, the person is not going to budge and help you until you do something. I've heard of cases where people have even gone to the bank to collect their government salary, and the person behind the till, I don't know if it happens so much now, but definitely back in the day, the person behind the bill will not give your money until you give them something for giving you their salary. It's happened where people have had to, I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. They will not be given their salary until somebody will give them something. And yes, that sounds like, well, how can you do it? There should be uproar in that instance, right? Because you're going to the bank, it's your money, you're taking out your money. But the person who is receiving you doesn't see it like that. They see it like, well, if you want me to go out of my way to help you, then you must help me too. If you want me to be nice to you, then you must be nice to me. And that's how it is here. I'm saying a bank, but it happens in many, many different circles. And I mean, I'll give Ghana this, that, we're trying to cut out some of this because in some places, like I've said already, it shouldn't be there. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be a thing. And we all agree it shouldn't be a thing, but it does still happen. And sometimes, let's be honest, it's to our advantage sometimes that we're able to pay for certain things to be fast-tracked. And let's be honest, this is where it comes into play, where it's like, are you going to be part of the problem or are you going to try and solve this problem? Because when you're part of the problem, sometimes it works in your favor. Because sometimes you get things fast-tracked, things are done faster for you, and it makes your life easier. That extra 10 cedis, 100 cedis or whatever is nothing in comparison to what you're going to gain. And so it's tempting to say, you know what, I'll give it to you. It's very tempting to say, I'm going to be part of the problem because it solves a problem for you. And so you might come to Ghana with the attitude of, I'm not going to take part in this. This is corruption. This is out of order. This is, you come like with that attitude, that stance. But you know what? When certain realities hit you, you're going to be one of the first people to pay because it makes your life easier. Because you can't tell me that you have no light in your house and someone says, you know what? We could send someone from the office, but they can't come today. So we're doing our job, but we can't come today. And the guy too, it's my lunch break. I'm not coming now. What are you going to do in that instance? Are you going to go home to your house that has no power? Or are you going to give the guy something to help encourage him to come to your place now? Which one are you going to do? And I can guarantee for most of us, we're going to pay something. That something might be 50 cedis, 100 cedis. Even if it's 200 cedis, how much is that in dollars? That's like $20 or whatever. That is how you're going to rationalize it in your head to say, okay, you know what? I'll just do it because, it's going to solve my greater problem because I don't want to go to bed with no power. I can't do anything. I can't move. Nothing is going to function because you can't. And so therefore, you're going to bow to the pressure of having to pay. So now you're also part of the problem. The problem that you were just frustrated with, you're also part of the problem because you have given in when it suits you. So there are some things that we shouldn't even complain about because it suits us too. So although, yes, it might be annoying and it's frustrating and it's not fair, it works in our benefit too. So we have to look at it as a whole. If we're going to look at it, we have to look at it from all aspects. And again, I'm not saying some of these things are right, but I'm saying it works in our favor sometimes. And when it works in our favor, that's when we're quiet. But when it doesn't work in our favor, that's when we want to be loud about it, And another problem with this is that it causes inequality within the system. So it's not fair. It's not fair that you have the capability to pay for something and somebody else has to join the queue. Somebody else that can't pay for it has to join the queue because they can't pay for something to be fast-tracked. Whereas you come and you've got your whatever and you can afford to pay for it. You've got your pounds, and so you can afford to pay to be fast-tracked. So you're jumping the queue, and every time you jump the queue, the person who's in the queue is going further and further and further and back because now the system is prioritizing you. It creates inequality, and it can create resentment with the locals or whoever is refusing to pay or who can't pay. And so therefore it causes a problem within the overall system. So really, are you helping the country? That's for you to answer, not for me. Okay, so let's talk about why it happens, because this is not necessarily a thing about greed. Okay, so I've talked about it already, saying that some of it is cultural norm, and people feel like, well, there is a little bit of, well, you can pay for it, so you should pay for it. That is there. Like, this person can afford it, so therefore, I'm going to ask for it, because there are some cases where it will be that the person won't do that to somebody who seems like they can't afford it, but they'll do it to somebody else who they believe can afford it, whether or not you look like you can afford it. So they're going to do that, and they won't budge because they know that you have access or ways to get the money that you need to do this thing, or if you want this service done for you, right? So there are times where, it is frustrating, but it is a cultural norm. However that cultural norm is put into place, or whatever rules they use to categorize it as a cultural norm, that is what is there, right? But we also have to understand the reason that it happens as well is because of low wages. Let's be honest, when it comes to wages in Ghana, some places pay poor, like really bad. Some people work 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week, and earn 600 cedis a month. That's like $60. And they will go to work every day. They have to take transport there. Sometimes they're not allowed to eat. If it's a restaurant they're working, they're not allowed to eat. If the customer says my food order is wrong and it gets sent back to the kitchen, it will come out of the person's wages. Like, there are certain things that make it harder. So this person is now forced to hustle. So they have to find other ways to make extra money. So they're going to do these things. So low wages is one of the reasons why this culture is in there. Because if everybody was good, right, it wouldn't happen as much, because you get your salary. Like when we get our salaries in the UK or in America, whatever, right? We get our salary. Okay, we're pretty much good. Yes, I know you have a tipping culture, so maybe it's slightly different. But in the UK, you have your salary. That's it. You're not expecting a gift from somebody. I'm not expecting that after I've done my customer service, I've served you at the till or wherever, you have to give me something. I'm not expecting that, because I'm getting my salary at the end of it. If you want to give it to me, hey, I'm not going to stop you from giving it to me. But my wages, I know what my wages are. I've calculated my bills around it, and this is how it works for me. So I'm not expecting to have to give that. But low wages here will impact a person's thinking, their decision making, and all of that, because they have to survive. And so it's going to affect. And so that is pretty much how it is here. Another reason that it does work is because the system is slow. To get things done in Ghana, process is done, it's slow. It will frustrate you. And it's like you need certain people's help. And they know that they can help you. It's almost like they hold the power, right? And they know they hold the power. So in order for you to be able to get this thing, then you have to pay. It's as simple, like, otherwise join the queue. And who knows, they can't tell you how long this queue is too. There's nowhere for you to go onto their website to say, okay, you are fifth in the queue, or, you know, this is how long you can expect for something to take, right? Even that, it can be there. It might say there, it will take you two weeks to get your ECG meter installed or whatever. But you could be waiting 2 months. And you can go, you can complain, you can scream, you can shout. Okay, nobody cares that you're shouting. They'll just look like you're irrational, you're a crazy person. But you're frustrated because it says 2 weeks and it's taking you 2 months and you're still waiting. Still no progress. You haven't even moved one step further. But the system is slow. This is it. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. This is the process. Processes here in Ghana are slow because sometimes there are just not proper systems in place. Sometimes they like it like that because there is benefit to them making it slow, and so you're going to pay. And because of that frustration, people will pay to jump the queue to get what they want. You know, and also we have to understand that sometimes when it comes to these things, there's a lack of enforcement. So in some places where they know damn well they're not supposed to ask for a tip, they know damn well they shouldn't be pulling you aside and asking you to pay a bribe so that they will let you go. They know that. But sometimes there's no repercussions because everybody understands it. So you who wants to complain at the roadside because you've been stopped for something, okay, well, let's go to the office and let's go sort it out, right? When you get to the office, you think, okay, well, now, you know, you're going to make your complaint and everybody's going to understand, say, oh, no, that's wrong. Them two, they're also part of it. So where you're walking from the frying pan to the fire, because now, because you've brought it to whatever institution it is and you've made a case, now you're going to pay double on top, because instead of you paying over there where it would have been easier, now you're going to pay here. Now we've added another 500, 1,000 to it because of this. Because now they have to write the report because you brought it to the office, so now it's going to take longer. Do you see what I'm saying? And then even when these things are exposed, really, there's sometimes that, and I'm not saying in any particular field, I'm just saying in general, like, there's no enforcement. There's no repercussions for that action. And so it continues and there's no repercussion because people understand it. It's part of the cultural norm. So yes, you're not supposed to do it, but it is an unspoken cultural norm that everybody does it. Everybody does it. It's almost like, no, I won't use that example. I don't want to get myself in trouble here. But yeah, everybody does it. So it's like, you also have to be part of it. Like, join in, because this is it. Yes, this is it. And that's how it is here. Now, one thing I don't want people to I don't want people to get upset about is that, and take things personally, right? It's not personal to you. it's not that it doesn't happen to local people too. They don't have to suffer these same things. They also have to suffer. So don't think that, oh, it's because I'm British or it's because I'm American that's why you're doing this to me and it's an uproar. I'm gonna go to social media. I'm gonna talk about it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares because it's happening to everybody. It happens to the local Ghanaian too because they look like they have more than the person that's asking. Yeah, you too, you have to pay. That's how it is. So it's not a personal thing. So never take these things as personal, even though it may seem it. It's not personal because right after you, there's somebody else that it's going to happen to. So it's not because of your accent or anything. It's not you. It's just how it is here. So don't take these things personal. It's frustrating. And I'm not saying that, you're not justified by being upset. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you have to understand. So really what it boils down to, if you don't like it, are you going to be part of the problem or are you going to be part of the small people who are going to try and uprise against it? And I've said small people because, as I said before, most people are happy to join in because it benefits them somewhere along the line. And I'm not saying it's right. It's very difficult to say, you know what, it's clear-cut wrong or it's clear-cut right. It's so hard. You're almost stuck in this grey area. As my partner says, the grey area is sometimes bigger than the black and the white areas because it does benefit you sometimes and sometimes it doesn't benefit you. So it's like it's a toss-up. And so really it comes down to your moral principles about what you're saying. Are you going to cause uproar and say something is not fair when you're also taking advantage of that system when it suits you? Will you pay? Will you pay? Are you going to pay and be part of this, or are you going to stand your ground and say, I'm not doing this? And I'll say definitely when you come here, there are feelings of guilt about feeling like you're contributing to the problem. And it's definitely valid. I would say it is valid when you feel like you are fast tracking certain things or you are paying for things where you know that a payment is not due. So it's almost like you're giving power to the person to do it, to go and do it to the next person. But I think the longer that you stay in Ghana, the more you realize that it's not clear cut. So when we come from the West, we come with very clear cut views, wrong, right, this, that, blah, blah, this and that, right? But it's not like that. And the more you integrate with the Ghanaian culture, the more you'll see that it doesn't work that way. And that's why it's important that you understand the culture where you come here to make things easier for you. So you can't take those same principles and things from here and take it over there. You go to the West and try and bribe someone and say, look, just put my application at the top, this is it. Unless you have the money. And they're not going to take $50 from you or £50 from you and say, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. They're not going to do that because they know that there are consequences of taking that. So if you're going to do something like that, you've got to make it worth their while. You've got to come with some thousands and thousands of dollars or pounds before someone's even willing to look at that. Because let's not play it twisted. Bribes still happen abroad as well. They do. That brown envelope thing happens, right? People do bribe people for contracts and things like that. It happens, right? But in Ghana, the scale is much lower, right? The entry barrier for bribery is much lower here than it is there. So it's not that it doesn't happen. It just happens on a different scale, right? It happens in different industries for different things. And it's for purpose. It's not for like the odd job here. It's not for little things, And so let's understand that. But you can't take the cultural norm to say, yes, this is, okay, I've lived in Ghana for a while now, so I understand that bribing is a thing here. Let me take that to America. It's not going to work there. You can't do that. So you have to understand the country that you're in, how it works, so that you can adapt to the rules while you're in that country. When you go to another country, you adapt to the other rules. And that's pretty much how it is. But that's what I wanted to say. So the point of this video is you either solve the problem or you keep quiet about it and you are part of the problem. Because every time we pay a bribe and we also contribute to this, we are also part of the problem, and we have to understand. And for me, I am very much a big believer when I do my relationship talks, right? Because for some of you know that I'm very much into the relationship space. One of the things that I'm very big on is self-awareness. And that self-awareness applies not just to relationship, it applies to absolutely everything. And I feel like when you acknowledge and you are self-aware about who you are, the things that you do, the type of person that you are, it makes life very easy for you. Well, it makes it easier to accept certain situations, right? So if you're self-aware and you know that you're coming here and you're going to take advantage of certain things, then be okay with it. Then be okay. Don't pretend that you're this high and mighty, self-righteous person when you know very well that you're not. Just be self-aware of who you are. It makes it easier for everybody else to understand you. Like me, I can say I'm a very fussy person. There's certain things I don't like. I'm self-aware of it. I know that. You can't use that against me and say, oh, as for you, a fussy person. Oh, I know. Like you cannot use that as a weapon against me because I've accepted. I'm self-aware of the fact. I'm self-aware that I'm a germaphobe. There's certain things I can't go certain places because I know who I am. I'm self-aware. I've accepted it. I know. I'm not going to fight against it. I know I can be over picky about certain things. I know sometimes, I won't say that. But anyway, just be self-aware. That's what it is. Don't pretend to be something that you're not. Don't pretend to be this self-righteous person and you follow all the rules when you know damn well you don't. That's my point out of all of this, okay? But anyway, I'm going to leave the video right there. So let me know. Let's talk in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the video. And let me know if you've ever succumbed to it and how it's made you feel. Have you felt like you are betraying your moral stance because you need to get something done? But that's it. But anyway, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, I would love it if you'd do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for me. Don't forget to also like, comment, and share this video. Until next time, I am out. It's Fafa.